Absent from thee I languish still, then ask me not when I return. Rochester's opening captures the painful tension between the desire to return and the compulsion to stray that lies at the heart of human weakness. Welcome to this excerpt from the A-Level Ahead seminar on Absent from Thee, where we will explore how Rochester uses the song form to examine unfaithfulness, regret, and the suffering that follows betrayal. The poem primarily presents a speaker who is unfaithful and unworthy, reinforcing long-standing patriarchal stereotypes of the selfish, self-focused man and the passive woman who waits for his return. However, Rochester also captures something universal about human frailty, the gap between knowing what we should value and the weakness that leads us to betray it. Through religious imagery and psychological insight, the poem exposes the torment that unfaithfulness inflicts upon the unfaithful themselves. This excerpt will provide an overview of the poem and close analysis of the opening stanza. For full access to the seminar, sign in on the website showing on the screen. Membership is free for 2026. The full seminar explores all stanzas with close analysis, possible approaches to themes and activities to embed your learning. Absent from Thee primarily explores the psychology of a speaker who is unfaithful and unworthy, suffering the torment he deserves for betraying his true love. The poem reveals the selfish restlessness of a man who cannot remain constant, reinforcing traditional patriarchal patterns where the male claims freedom to roam whilst the female waits passively for his return. Rochester captures the self-inflicted suffering that follows infidelity. The speaker recognizes his lover's worth and the security she offers, yet his fantastic mind compels him to stray from her, pursuing lesser relationships that bring only pain and regret. The poem works through a series of comparisons that emphasize both his lover's worthiness and his own weakness. The love experienced in her presence contrasts sharply with the suffering and emptiness he endures when absent from her. He compares the authentic love and peace and truth she provides against the world of woe he encounters when he strays. The comparison might possibly extend to other fools who waste their love on unworthy relationships, though the weight of evidence suggests the speaker primarily condemns his own behavior rather than elevating himself above other faithless lovers. Most significantly, Rochester exposes the universal human weakness of knowing what one should value whilst lacking the strength to remain constant to it. The four-stanza structure traces a psychological journey through unfaithfulness and regret. In stanza 1, the speaker responds to his lover's question about when he will return, revealing that constant longing would kill the straying fool, either because contemplating his betrayal causes unbearable pain, or because expressing devotion whilst actually being unfaithful creates an untenable hypocrisy. The second stanza presents his request to flee from her arms so his fantastic mind can experience the torments it deserves, revealing self-destructive compulsion alongside self-awareness. In the third stanza, he describes returning to her safe bosom after being wearied with a world of woe, contrasting the chaos of his infidelity with the peace she provides. The final stanza employs religious imagery to express his fear of losing everlasting rest through repeated wandering, acknowledging a pattern of faithless behavior whilst desperately seeking to avoid further betrayal. The poem's use of religious language throughout proves particularly significant. By casting his lover as a divine figure whose presence offers salvation and his infidelity as sin-threatening damnation, Rochester exposes how betrayal damages not only relationships, but the betrayer's own spiritual integrity. The religious framework elevates the poem beyond personal confession to explore universal questions about human weakness, the nature of love, and whether redemption remains possible for those who repeatedly betray what they claim to value most. Stanza 1, Languish and the Response to Her Question. The title immediately emphasizes separation as a focus. Despite the tender quality of personal relationship suggested in the choice of thee, the emphasis remains clearly on the struggle of separation. The opening line, absent from thee I languish still, creates an immediate sense of ongoing pain through the verb languish, whose long, drawn-out vowel sounds create that sense of emptiness and suffering. The adverbial use of still suggests both an ongoing state, as well as reinforcing the sense of inertia and motionlessness that characterizes his condition when away from her. The question in the second line, then ask me not when I return, implies that she seeks his return, positioning her in the passive role of waiting whilst he exercises freedom of movement. The question poses a crucial problem. What is the impediment to him wanting to return, and why does he ask her not to request this information? The most compelling interpretation suggests that the response is not needed because it creates unbearable pain for him. Contemplating separation forces him to confront his own betrayal and unworthiness. He cannot bear to articulate when he will return because doing so would expose the gap between what he should do, remain with her, and what he actually does, stray from her. The final two lines of the stanza give a sense of the ordinariness of faithless lovers through the choice of the words fool and plainly, both implying something unremarkable and predictable. The adjective straying proves particularly significant, reinforcing that he is unfaithful to his lover. This is emphasized in the final line through the repetition of all, which creates relentless emphasis. To wish all day, all night, to mourn. The suggestion that constant longing would kill the straying fool captures the unbearable nature of confronting his own faithlessness. To wish continually for her, whilst actually betraying her, creates an untenable psychological state. The line exposes how infidelity inflicts suffering upon the unfaithful themselves, not through external punishment, but through internal contradiction and regret. To access the full seminar, visit the website, which is offering free membership for 2026. We hope that this video has been helpful in supporting your studies of this poem. On screen are a list of some of the critical sources mentioned in the video, along with other suggestions for further exploration. Remember, for full access to the seminar, sign in on the website showing on the screen. Membership is free for 2026. The full seminar explores all stanzas with close analysis, possible approaches to themes, and activities to embed your learning. Thank you for listening, and good luck in your studies or your preparation.